Why does a prefix's meaning change in different words? Imagine a puzzle where each piece can fit in many ways, changing the picture entirely. That's similar to how prefixes work in words. They seem simple but can have different meanings depending on the word they attach to. Let's explore why that happens. First, many prefixes come from Latin or Greek, languages that used these prefixes with broad meanings. When these prefixes entered English, their meanings sometimes narrowed or shifted based on the word they joined. For example, the prefix in can mean not, as in invisible, but it can also mean inside, as in inject. The meaning depends on the root word and its history. Second, the origin of the root word influences how the prefix's meaning appears. When combined, the prefix and root create a new idea that might not be just a simple addition. Take re, which usually means again, like in redo. But in receive, it doesn't mean again. It comes from Latin and has a different sense related to taking or getting something. The history of the word shapes how the prefix is understood. Third, words change over time. A prefix might start with a clear meaning but can become less obvious as language evolves. The prefix be in Old English meant many things like around or thoroughly. Today, in words like befriend or bewilder, the original sense isn't as clear, and the meaning depends on the context and history of each word. Let's look at some examples. The prefix dis in disappear means not appear, which is straightforward, but in discover, it doesn't mean not cover. Instead, it comes from Latin meaning away or apart, so discover means to uncover. The same prefix has different meanings because of the word's roots and history. Another example is anti. It usually means against, like an antibiotic, which fights bacteria, but in anticipate, it comes from Latin meaning before, so it means to act before something happens. The prefix's meaning shifts based on the word's origin and how it's used. So, why does a prefix's meaning change in different words? It's because of the prefix's original meaning, the history of the root word, how they combine, and how language has changed over time. That's why knowing a prefix alone doesn't always tell you the full story of a word's meaning. When you learn about prefixes, it helps to look at the whole word, not just the prefix. Check where the word comes from and how it's used. This way, you understand why words mean what they do and can use them more accurately. Remember, prefixes are tools that help build words, but their meanings can shift depending on context and history. Paying attention to these details makes you a better reader and speaker.